Welcome to MKE Arts Live. Today's theme is The Future is Now. To begin, we have the Milwaukee Children's Choir, the ensemble Voices of Eterna, and they're going to be performing Amani Utupe, conducted by Eric Jacobson, which means grant us peace, grant us courage in Swahili. Take it away, guys. So again, that is the Milwaukee Children's Choir and the ensemble Voices of Eterna. Another round of applause for them. That was really great. All right, so today's theme, as I mentioned, is The Future is Now. The show, let me introduce myself. I'm Adam Carr. This is MKE Arts Live. Today, we are not at our normal home, which is the 88.9 Radio Milwaukee Performance Stage. We are in the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center, which is an incredible collection of creativity. There's young people doing incredible arts throughout this building. So I feel very privileged to be here. This show is sponsored by Radio Milwaukee and the United Performing Arts Fund. They are in week 10 of their campaign out of 15. And last season of MKE Arts Live, we did a show about arts education, and we had incredible arts educators on stage. And we thought this time, let's get the young people themselves and have some youth artists on stage with us. So that's what we're going to have today, a show featuring the youth. UPAF and the Bright Minds program funds over 100,000 kids each year in southeastern Wisconsin and touches them with high-quality arts education. In fact, every young person you're going to see on this panel is part of a group that is funded through UPAF's Bright Minds program. One of those people is sitting right next to me. Hey, Malaina.
Hi.
So Malaina Moore is a really incredible young lady, and why don't we just start? You're going to turn 20 soon?
Yes.
Why don't you just give us a little,
next few days.
And a little introduction to yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Malaina Moore. I go to Marquette University. I am a theater major, social welfare and justice minor. I went to Rufus King, and I turned 20 soon, apparently.
Yes. I know. So everybody, as part of every single show that we do a podcast. And Malaina and I sat down and had a really fun hour-long conversation. So you can check out the podcast that we listened to, and we're going to have a shorter version of our conversation. So tell me a little bit more about where you're from.
Okay, so I'm from Milwaukee's North Side. I went to Rufus King, as I said. I went to a Montessori school, Maryland Avenue Montessori, where I did a lot of things, just across the board, cross-country, knitting club, anything you can think of.
Good Montessori kid?
Yeah, of course. And then, yeah, when I went on to King, I really found my passion for like doing theater and arts and things like that. So I began to act and playwright and direct hopefully soon.
Yeah. So it just so happens that on last week's episode, we had a woman from the Milwaukee Chamber Theater who was on in one of these seats, Miss Marcy Kearns. And you know Marcy very well. So can you tell me a little bit about Marcy Kern and the Young Playwrights Festival?
Okay, so I met Marcy during my junior year at Rufus King, and she came into my Theater 1 classroom, IB Theater 1, yeah. And she did a workshop with the Milwaukee Chamber Theater on playwriting and how to develop conflict and how to develop character and plot and basically all of those things. And just in all of our exercises and our workshops, she really like encouraged everybody to go for something that they were really passionate about. And I think that Marcy was like one of the main reasons that I kept playwriting is because she continued to like push us to talk about things that we wanted to talk about in conflict and in character development. And she's actually working with me on my current show that's at Marquette.
So spoiler alert, you were selected for the Young Playwrights Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And you wrote a play. So you're a 19-year-old playwright, and actually you were a 17-year-old playwright, right?
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the play that you wrote and was produced and performed?
Okay, so the play that I wrote was called This Just In, and it was, like I said, Marcy really pushed us to talk about conflicts that we wanted to talk about. And during that time, when I was a 17-year-old girl, there was a lot of police brutality. It was basically like the break of Trayvon Martin. When I was selected, Sandra Bland was killed. So there was a lot of anger. There was a lot of wanting my voice and the people around me's voice to be represented. And so I decided to speak about police brutality and what was happening. But I wanted to kind of humanize the voice and not like give like the police like this like super harsh criticism, but rather give like the people who died and their families a voice to be like, this is what we've experienced, and these are the people that we have interacted with our whole lives, and take away from what the media tried to represent as like what a black life is in the hands of the police.
So what did it feel like to put a play on stage? You're still in high school, you still have homework due the next day, but you're seeing the words that you wrote come to life on a stage.
It was very, very scary. I remember like one of the first in almost every except when my parents and my family came. It was like when I saw like minorities come to see theater. And so when I was in the audience surrounded by everyone, I'm like, everyone's gonna hate me for this. Everyone's gonna give me like harsh criticism. It's gonna be, like a lot of blank stares and like not understanding, which it was during the entire performance of it. But afterwards, the amount of positive feedback that I got during like the talkbacks and everything was like tremendous. Like people who were just encouraging me to write longer or encouraging me to write plays that they had thought of while they were sitting there. So it was a good experience, but at the same time, it was very nerve-wracking.
Sure. I think especially in our city, the truth that we need is hard to take, but when we hear it, we know we need it. So can you share in our last minute here, we're going to talk with you more later, but kind of what you're doing now. So you were 17, already wrote a play that got produced. Kind of what are you doing now and where are you headed?
Okay, so like I said, I got a Marquette. I'm a performance major, but I also playwright and I do social welfare and justice on the side. So right now what I'm doing is homework.
You had a math exam earlier today?
Yes, I had a math exam. It was really hard. Math for theater majors is not good. But I actually did write a play last semester. It's called White Privilege. And it kind of focuses on what Black people have to go through in the scope of society, whether it's through gentrification or school, cultural appropriation. And I actually got selected to like go on Marquette's main stage next year, so it's kind of cool. I'm really excited. Wow. Come check us out. Thank you. Yeah, but like getting ready for that and just hopefully continuing playwriting, being in shows and things like that that are important to me.
Absolutely. So we're going to have more with Malaina, and we're going to be joined by some other guests. But I brought a prop with me. So Malaina is Rufus King General, as am I. And I, this morning, went in the basement of my house, and I found this marching band jacket that
Not a marching band.
that I found in the basement of Rufus King High School. This was actually, this wasn't the jacket you can see. Nice, right? This wasn't the jacket that we wore, but I found it in the bomb shelter, I think, and our band director, Mr. Durr, just let me have it. And the reason I wanted to put it on right now is part of the introduction of a video we're about to watch. So the video is about the All-City Arts Festival. It just changed its name. It's the Music Biennial. That's kind of what I knew it as. I did it 3 times when I was in middle school and high school, and it was really one of my favorite experiences that I got to do in all of my education. And I won't ruin the video we're about to watch, but really, to me, it was very special to be able to go back to Riverside High School and see some present-day high schoolers come from all around the city and make music together. So let's watch the video over here.
Hello, my name is Jordan Carter, and I'm a junior here at Riverside University High School, and I play the French horn.
My name is Caitlin Ryan. I'm a senior at Ronald Reagan High School, and I play the trumpet.
My name is Zoe Jordan. I go to Riverside University High School, and I am a senior, and I play the timpani.
So today we're continuing the tradition of the Biennial Music Festival, which has been going on for over 94 years in the city of Milwaukee. And so we've gathered together students from the local high schools, and in collaboration, they're going to perform 5 pieces of music as a band and 4 pieces of music as an orchestra.
Before I started, well, I'm in percussion, so percussion is about 12 different instruments. It's like mallet, xylophone, timpani, snare drum. And before I started, I thought it was just like snare drum. I thought that was just to be playing percussion. But when we first got there to test out which instrument section we were gonna play, and I played on the mallets at first. I'm like, what is this? Like, looks weird. And then when they said like they had different notes we had to memorize, it looked super hard. But after we worked on it, it's really not that hard to memorize like the notes, because it only goes from B to A. He assigns me to a lot, so I kind of got used to playing any random instrument. So if he just puts me on something, I can play anything he wants me to play.
I've been doing Biennial Music Festival since I was in 4th grade, since I was 10, and every year I look forward to meeting new people and applying the skills that I learned in my band class to a bigger setting and to really work with people I've never met before from all across the city. And it's just really important to me that I get to learn and grow from this experience every 2 years.
So today, playing with other French horn players, I might be able to pick up things from them that I never knew, like certain false fingerings and things that they use and the way that they play their instruments and get air through their horn. I might be able to pick that up and become a way better player. So I love the chance to do that.
All City is like the Harry Potter Tri-Wizard Cup tournament, where all the schools get to visit each other. Our city is so segregated that this gives us an opportunity to reach across, dividing lines, to have students get together, not in competition, but in collaboration and cooperation.
I think it's gonna go pretty good. I feel a lot more confident about it after we played together today. It's gonna be really fun, and I know everybody's probably gonna be nervous, but in the end, I feel like it's gonna be worth it. Like it's all gonna play well. Like the last song, we gotta work on that one more, but it's like when it comes together, I know that it will be good.
I just think the Biennial Music Festival is a really good opportunity for everyone to get together and to share a common goal of musical excellence. And through that goal, we build skills together, like collaboration and motivation. And I feel like through music, we're able to strengthen our character in so many different ways. And this is a great opportunity for kids all around Milwaukee to be able to do that.
Yeah, so like playing with other kids, normally when you got another school, it's normally about competition, this school against that school, but now we got all the schools join forces to make one big MPS district and really support the inner city kids' music and the stuff that we do here.
1, 2, last 4, and...
Thanks to Ben Wick, the radio producer, I used to work with him when we were radio producers together. He's a video producer on that piece. So the MPS All-City Arts Festival is going to be at the Henry Meyer Festival Park, so the Summerfest grounds, this Wednesday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. each day. and there's going to be spoken word, there's going to be dance, there's going to be music, obviously, there's going to be all kinds of things. So go and check that out if you get a chance. So now, joining the panel, we have an esteemed group of young people, Jack Gronseth from the Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra, Ella Vitrano from First Stage, and Stephanie Perez Villafuerte from Next Act. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, let you guys introduce yourselves a little bit more. You each love and partake in the performing arts somehow. So just to start, tell me which arts and performing creative directions you guys go in.
I'll go first. Hi, I'm Jack Gronseth. I, again, am from the Milwaukee Youth Symphony Orchestra, also known as MISO. This past year, I was involved in the Metropolitan Symphony Orchestra and the Chamber Ensemble, as well as occasional master classes that they offered here. I'm currently going to Mugwanago High School. I'm the orchestra concertmaster there. Yeah, cool. About me.
Concertmaster. That's a good name.
Good title.
My name is Ella Vitrano. I do theater with First Stage and other theaters in the community. I'm an actress. I love to sing and dance, and I also play the violin, and I'm in choir at my school.
Cool. When we started, we did a little icebreaker, and she led the icebreaker.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I usually do my acting with Next Act. I've been with them for 2 years. I go to Ronald Reagan, and I've been taking theater class since freshman year, so 3 years taking theater and loving every second of it.
All right. So before you guys get on stage, a lot of people have superstitions or rituals. Or you might have a favorite food you like to eat. Would you guys like to divulge some of your secrets of like what you do to prepare to get in front of people? Who has a good superstition?
I'll go first again. Like every other musician that plays an instrument, I am required to tune, so basically just to be in tune and match the rest of the ensemble. But more specifically, being a violinist, my specific ritual would be to rosin my bow, because basically the rosin is what creates the sound coming out of my instrument, and creating a constant amount of rosin on my bow every day before I practice gives me basically a constant sound.
My favorite pre-show meal is probably anything from Starbucks.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
Wow.
I got introduced to Starbucks when I was in A Christmas Carol at the Milwaukee Rep when I was 10, and all the older kids in the cast would always go to Starbucks because we would be able to walk. And then they would take me too, and now it's just a pre-show necessity.
How about like a black coffee?
No.
Just like Pikes. So you said anything.
No.
Okay. Something a little sweeter than straight black coffee.
Frappuccinos.
Okay, frappuccino. All right, you guys got a superstition?
I usually have to drink tea before I go.
Tea?
Yes.
You're a little more mellow than Ella.
Yes.
What's your tea of choice?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus. That's a
Yeah.
caffeine-free tea, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice one. All right.
Usually I'm so nervous before a show that I don't do anything but breathe, like 10 seconds before I go on. So it's like,
Did
all
you do that before today?
Yes. Yes, when I saw me. Yeah, I was doing that.
One of my pre-stage and on-stage rituals is picking at my beard a lot. Doing that. So, I have to watch that. Okay, so being on stage, as we've mentioned, can be scary, but it can also be thrilling. You guys wouldn't do it, you wouldn't be up here if it wasn't something that you really loved and you felt worth it, the sacrifice of feeling a little uncomfortable to do something in front of people. So can you guys tell me about a specific performance that you guys had that made you realize this is something that's worth it, that you love doing?
Okay, so my first year at Next Act, I was terrified of acting and doing anything, but I still gave it a chance. And our concept was displaying like real life situations and what people go through. And once I saw that and I saw people's faces and like when I saw how they were awestruck by our message, I was like, oh, maybe acting can like help people or help them in some way to let them know that they're not alone.
A specific performance for me, probably down here my second year in MISO, I was involved with the Symphony Orchestra. The first half of that year was just with strings, just us violins, cellos, etc. But the performance that stood out to me the most was the second half of the year when we were combined with the band. So it was the band and strings. That was my first experience with that, so it was a whole new experience. Plus, that was my first time being concertmaster of an orchestra. So again, really bringing out my leadership skills and again, just tons of experience.
I remember once I was in a production of Arsenic and Old Lace at Rufus King, and my friend Dean, who actually used to go to First Stage, he broke character, like in the middle of a very, very funny scene, and I just sat there and I broke character too because I didn't know what else to do. Like he started laughing, and I just started laughing, and the entire crowd started laughing, and it was a great time, but very, very scary because as an actor, you never want to break character. So.
For me, when I was in Les Miserables at Waukesha Civic Theater, I played young Eponine, and I was in the ensemble, so I was on stage a lot, and I really liked to do the singing, and I really liked the fact that I got to present a really fun and also kind of scary story to the audience that really affected them, and yeah.
Absolutely. When I was a kid, I used to drive to Chicago with my dad, where his family lived, and we listened to Les Mis on a cassette tape on the way down and back. All right. So, each of you, I'm curious, a dream role that you'd like to play someday. So who maybe is a director you'd like to work with, or a stage you'd like to be on, or a production you'd like to be in, a piece of music you'd like to perform?
Everything.
Expand upon everything.
I've always wanted, like everyone, I don't know. I really have no.
Give us some names.
Will Smith. I don't know. Viola Davis. Taraji P. Henson. Any of those people acting with them or as my director.
For sure. Cool.
For me, I don't know if most of you would know his name, Isaac Perlman. He's a very, very, very well-known violinist, and it would just be a huge honor to be on stage with him.
When I grow up, I'd like to play either Alphaba in Wicked or Eponine in Les Mis.
Cool. You got a head start on that second one.
I would really like to be Eliza from Hamilton or Anastasia.
Cool.
Yeah, like working with Lin-Manuel Miranda would be amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you guys are definitely at the beginning of a lifelong investment in arts. Can you talk a little bit about the impact arts have had in your life so far?
I'll go first. Break the ice.
Concertmaster Jack.
Yeah, thank you. Specifically here down at MISO, I've just, throughout the past few years, I've had the greatest conductors, mentors, teachers. They've taught me so many valuable lessons, everything from just great music that we played, to experiences, to hard work, to leadership opportunities. And it's just been, they've really led my experience down here at MISO, and it's just been quite a ride.
The impact theater has had on my life is that I'm really good at public speaking, and I'm confident in myself now. So like public speaking is something that a lot of people fear above anything, and I do it for fun, which is pretty cool to say. And
in front of people.
Yeah. And I'm more confident in myself now, so I wasn't before I did theater, but now that I've been able to express myself in other characters in front of other people, I feel much more confident in who I am.
I definitely think that theater's just given me a platform to like express myself, my interests, my issues, everything, and give people a voice. I always say that my theater is like a voice for people, an outlet or things like that, so.
The impact it's had on me is that I'm terribly shy. I hate speaking in front of people, but when I'm acting, I can pretend I'm someone else, and everything just flies away, and I'm not terrified of speaking in front of people. So it's helped me with presentations where I'm just like, oh, it's just another play where I'm having to present this, and yeah.
For sure. So audience, get your questions ready. We're going to come to you in a second. Katie has a handheld mic, I think. Katie does have a handheld mic. Who has a question that they would like to ask anyone on the panel or the whole panel?
How did you get started? How did you get started? Was it your parents that introduced you to this, to theater and music, or did you ask them to start on it?
For me, getting involved with MISO, I've just heard, well, first it started with my violin teacher. She's had many students that have been involved, and all she's heard is great things. And then through school, I started to hear many people and friends talking about it, and I just thought, why not? I haven't really been involved in many other orchestras, so it was a great first step, and it's hopefully going to last with me for the rest of high school.
I actually started when I was 7. I used to perform in front of people in my church, and once I went to Reagan, Miss Baker pulled me to theater, and ever since then I've been in theater.
Shout out Miss Baker.
Miss Baker.
If you're watching, Carrie.
I've always just kind of wanted to perform. Like when I was a kid, I just used to do it all the time, and I told my parents and they hated it. But I think when I got to high school, my teacher, Miss A, she really influenced me to get into it. And then my professors at Marquette, like John Schneider, have been a really big influence on me pursuing it.
I started theater when I was 4 years old. I did First Stage Academy during the summer. It was a week-long camp where you got to learn about theater, and you got to do theater games. So, yeah.
You've been doing it as long as you can remember.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Not surprised. You seem very, very comfortable. Any other questions from the audience? We'll do one more. Yes.
Malaina, what are you planning on doing after graduation? It's not that far off.
It's not.
You're a sophomore?
I'm a sophomore. I'm about to be a junior in a couple days. I don't know. As any artist, really, I want to move. I want to go somewhere, and of course, I want to put my name out there. But my long-term goal, after I get famous, everyone, is to
forget about us.
No,
okay.
I'm gonna shout you out on my first Grammy. No, I want to open a first stage, but for urban cities, for kids who can't afford certain amounts and things like that. Yeah, but first I want to get famous so that I can afford that.
Selfishly, I hope you stay here.
I'll try my hardest.
So don't do that. A lot of artists, they'll move to move to New York, and they'll be like, oh, I'm from New York now. You're from Milwaukee.
No.
You've lived in Brooklyn for 6 months, and you slept there. I'm making the mics because I get so mad at people who move to Brooklyn. Cool. So you're gonna stay on stage, correct? Scott? Where's Scott? We're gonna move off stage. So okay, we're gonna have one more performance, and it's gonna be from the Milwaukee Ballet School and Academy. They are performing Pas de Deux from Cipollino, and we are going to move off stage, and then we're going to take our chairs off stage over here. And with that, this is going to be Jasper Metcalfe and Zoe Maxwell from the Milwaukee Ballet School and Academy. You guys were really good. So that is today's show. Thank you to everyone. That was the Milwaukee Ballet School and Academy. Our first performance was from the Milwaukee Children's Choir. I want to thank Malaina and Milwaukee Chamber Theater, Jack Gronseth and Miso, Symphony and Next Act, Ella and First Stage, the United Performing Arts Fund and the Young Mind Program. Young Minds, is that right? Bright Minds, Young and Bright Minds. Epic Creative, who's the wizards behind all of the cameras and everything else. Radio Milwaukee, where we will be back for our last show, which is of the season. That's going to be June 11th. Our concept is Stories from the Stage. We're going to go from Concert Master Jack to Concert Master Frank. Is going to be part of that show. So join us on June 11th for the finale of our second season of MKE Arts Live. Thank you. We made it.